Want to go first, Beryl?
Beryl Burrowes. What am I? 100. The 27th of December 1923. Vanilla in Victoria.
I'm Jim Burrowes. I'm 100. We've just had a lovely party for Beryl's 100th. People from the village, the RSL, bowling mob and everybody.
I'm looking, I can't find something. I can't find what I wanted to show you. Damn mobiles, they're stupid. That's my birthday cake. And it's still there. And it was a lovely cake. We came down to Melbourne when I was about nearly 3. My old Aunt Kate, she brought my father up. His mother died when he was born. She helped bring us up when we were young. My father came from...
he was in the railway business.
He was on the railways from Benalla. And he was like most men in those days. They'd get a job for a couple of days. You'd go up, put your hand up and they're calling out. And they'd spend the money on drink. My mum didn't work before she was married. She was a lady like your mother.
Yeah.
They both married and had to work. My father lost his job and my mum used to go cleaning to people that had money to get food for us. And, of course, my father used to accuse her of going out with other men to get the money and belt her up. Oh, it doesn't pay to think about it now. I don't know how she stood up with it. She just put up with it for the rest of us.
Yeah, you had a really tough...
I don't know how she put up with it. People had hard lives back then. I know I used to talk with girls at school. They all had troubles with their mum and dads because half the dads, I don't know, they just weren't family men, not like today. They're so different, aren't they? We used to tell her to leave him. We'd say, Mum, you've got to leave. You can't put up with all that. He was horrible. Anyway, she finally had to go. He started kicking her as well as bolting her. And then she left when I was nearly 12. And my father wouldn't let us go with my mother. And we lived in St Kilda for a while and then we moved to Hawthorne. When he was home, we stayed out in the backyard, out of his way, or in bed. We didn't have much to do with him at all. He was always touchy. I have 4 sisters, 2 older and 2 younger. The eldest one left him and went to my mother, and the second girl went to the country with the elderly people, grandpeople, and myself and the 2 young ones were stuck with my father. We all got rid of him as we got older. He was an idiot. Well, he had all those girls and he could have had a great life and he wrecked it.
And Beryl became the potential mother of her 2 younger sisters. She was wonderful.
And
she was her mother.
One, she's still right up until she died. She felt I was her mother. They neglected. So
you were the only one left to look after them.
My sister and I, a year between us, we worked and kept the 4 of us. Ran the house, cooked the meals and cleaned the house, chopped the wood, I did everything. great big logs, so I could pretty good at the end. Oh, I loved school and I was good at my schoolwork and maths especially. My older sisters won scholarships to go on, and the headmaster said, "I'm sorry." He asked me if I got a scholarship, would I go on it? And I said no, my father wouldn't bother. So he didn't put my name down because he was sure I'd get one like my sisters. I knew I was going to have to leave school at 12, the 8th grade. That was the legal age you could leave. So when I left, I ran the household. So when I was 15, I left him and took the 2 young ones with me to a lady that was boarding us. We had a lovely time with her. She had 2 sons, so she was thrilled to have some girls. Had a good life. We didn't have any money over. We had enough to pay our board. And my older sister and I had a nighttime job, and Saturday morning, hers was in Woolworths and mine was in Easy Walking Shoes. And that was our bit of spending money. Well, my older sister and I, we were working and boarding, and we thought we weren't doing anything for the war effort, so we joined up. The Air Force, Air Women, WAAAF. Joined up at 18, but I wasn't called in till I just turned 19. But in that meantime, I was learning a lot from books. We didn't think much of ourselves. We put our names down to be mess orderlies. That's the lowest thing. And when the day we went to sign up, they'd called us into the officer's room and she said, I'm not putting you girls in your mess area. You have done an IQ test and you can do much better. She said, I want you to be clerks. Oh, we said, we couldn't be clerks. We haven't done anything like that. And I said, well, what about an officer? No, she said, you're both clerks. So we took her word and we had good jobs and good pay. Met a lot of lovely people from all around Australia. And it was the best thing we ever did. You grew up and learned independence, and it's amazing what you learn. Well, you got discharged and I got a good job at Radio Corp. It was just where they were starting to make televisions. And it was a good job in the office there. I was in the accounts department. And I was there till I got married. We both used to go out with other people, but I still in my mind thought he's the one for me.
I didn't know that at the time, till later.
I was going out with his friend, but there was nothing in it. We were platonic friends, yeah, and I met his mate.
She was just herself. That's enough.
Eh?
You were just yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I loved you. And
yeah, I didn't do anything about it. I just hoped. I used to get annoyed
because I didn't do what she was told.
No, but I had a lot of people, fellas used to come around to take me out. And the one I wanted never did.
Well, eventually I did. I turfed off the others and left just Beryl or I in the car, and that's when it started.
We got engaged in the July and were married in February, but we knew them for more than 12 months before. But that was a lovely day. I was so happy. We only had 20 at the wedding, but when we came out of the church, we had about 80 people waiting for us. We would have liked it, but we couldn't. I mean, I was paying for the wedding and I couldn't afford more than family. And we had 2 bridesmaids and 2 best men. The lady that made my dress, I knew her well. She made it for $10, or £10, material and all. And she lent me the veil. Oh, well, we get on well together and we respect each other's wishes. He was kind and generous and even-tempered. Nice fella. Still is. Sense of humour.
Sorry?
Sense of humour. You have to laugh about these. I laugh about these. Jim's more serious, but then he laughs. I can get him to laugh. I remember Jim and I were in the town and he wanted a pair of shoes. So I said, you go and get your shoes and I'll get what we need and I'll come and meet you. And when I went into the shoe shop, he's chatting very animated with a fellow, and it was my father.
It was Beryl's father, who I hadn't met, obviously. I was just a likeable sort of fellow you've seen.
Outside people thought he was great.
I didn't know anything about his history.
Oh yes, I saw her. I didn't for a few years because we couldn't do anything. You know, there's no communication back then. We didn't have any money for trams or trains to go looking for her. So we found her when I was working, about 16 or 17.
And after that, we saw a lot of, we used to call her Nanny. I used to call her the old bat. But, she came and lived with us for a while and came and visited us. So we loved her. She was a lovely lady.
She had a lovely life anyway. Jim was marvellous. He'd have her with us a lot.
In the meantime, Beryl was helping her friends where they've had husbands that don't look after the family.
Oh, they had no idea how to manage money.
Yeah.
Their husbands were mean. Yeah, and two friends I had an awful time with trying to get money without him finding out they were working so they could feed their kids. They're terrible fellas. And the one that had 10 children, her husband was great. They had debts from the dairy, the milkman, the grocery, everyone. And they didn't know what to do. It got to the stage that they weren't going to deliver it. She needed milk. I said, well, let me manage your money. I said, I won't pinch any of it. I said, I don't need to. So I ran her money for about 6 months. I got her out of debt and in front. See, she had money, but didn't know how to manage it with so many children. I said, you've got to forget yourself. You don't have anything yourself to start with. And you get enough food for everybody. And then when each one, if they needed pants or socks or something, you work it out. It works out. They both worked out well. They have more say now. You're your own person. back then you sort of fought your way. But I was lucky because I was my own boss from 16. Oh, washing machine. Don't you reckon? I remember, do you remember the old trayway? Yeah, that's what we had first. Oh, worked in the trough. Then we finally got a proper machine. But the washing machine, you put it in, put a button, and you put them out on the line. I mean, we all had ice chests so we could, and we worked out we were paying for the ice, the amount of paying off a fridge. So it was our first lay-by. We bought a fridge with the pay instead of paying ice. My happiest times were the day we married and the day each child was born. They were just lovely. And we're lucky they're all still good. I enjoyed every minute, I still do. Yeah. And of course, Jim made it easy.
We had 2 sons and 2 daughters. During that time, I was away a hell of a lot, and Beryl was just amazing, capable in bringing up 4 kids. She was mother, father and everything. All that time she was just absolutely wonderful. She was an angel. So you could not imagine a better loving wife.
And all the kids have been good. And of course, Jim's been great. I'm a very lucky lady.